Hey out there everyone, my name is Chris and welcome to my channel, The Reconverted Catholic. Well, about a month ago, around the time I released part 4 of this video series, I coincidentally received a message from a new subscriber regarding, believe it or not, covenant. She had watched my recommended reading video about the book A Father Who Keeps His Promises by Scott Hahn. In this book, Hahn shows that God's covenants are central to salvation history and that God instituted them to build a divine family relationship with his creation. I was happy to hear the recommended reading video resonated with the viewer and gave her more of a complete understanding of salvation history. And to all the viewers who have sent me positive messages about my channel here and this video series, I sincerely appreciate the kind words. What's more, I'm always glad to hear about people who will become more immersed into their faith journey as they discover or rediscover Catholic Christian belief. Now, as it has been a month since my last posting, it is more than time to reveal why I think a real connection to covenant could completely crush chaos. So much so, I will say it again, a real connection to covenant could completely crush chaos. And yes, that alliteration was intended. So how so, you may ask? If we really take the time to reflect on the history and purpose of covenants, as described in the last part, the prior parts in this series, as well as God, why establish them in the first place, we see that they are the core foundation for having strong morals and values. They are an oath. They are a sacred promise and commitment between us and God, and which in turn means we should be responsible and accountable to each other. When I was first planning what to say in this final part of the series, I thought about listing all of the immoral, secularly fueled issues plaguing our world right now, and most heavily in Western society. However, the whole purpose of covenant goes far beyond any specific period of time. After all, we humans have blatantly chosen to sin again and again since near the beginning of creation. I've said in past videos that original sin is the sin that keeps on giving. That's because our Achilles heel since the fall of in the Garden of Eden has been to think we can become gods who replace God. And this problem is not limited to modern society. Read the entire Bible carefully. Then ask yourself, what is a running theme throughout the Old Testament and which led to the entire corpus of the New Testament? The running theme is that God's people, again and again, kept rebelling against being morally accountable to God and to one another. They had a covenant with God. They were guaranteed abundantly fruitful lives, despite the ultimate reality that death was, waiting in the shadows. Yet, to put it bluntly, they just could not get over themselves. Neighboring morally conflicted cultures kept luring the Jews into worshiping pagan gods or in tandem with the true God, and there was no shortage of sexual perversions and doing whatever makes you happy. That "do whatever makes you happy" statement right there is such a sloppy, misguided way of navigating life. Really, anything qualifies as something we should allow to make us happy? Really, each of us should create whatever truth, and I mean whatever, that works best for us? Really, we should force alternate, albeit false ideas on one another? And really, we should be a morally relativistic society with little to no accountability? This is very much in line with the entire Old Testament, and which is a pervasive issue to this day. When we think we can redefine rights and truth into empty words that have no meaning, we are morally bankrupt. When we deliberately tear apart relationships and families in the name of self-love and entitlement, we are morally bankrupt. When we think we are gods and that we don't have to answer to anyone else but ourselves, we are morally bankrupt. When we no longer see each other as God's creation, when we no longer think we are accountable to each other, when we continually diminish the value of sacred oaths, of sacred covenants, we are morally bankrupt. If we don't care about covenant, then we don't care about commitment. We don't care about genuinely loving and honoring one another. We don't care about goodness. We don't care about love. Now that may sound like a straw man fallacy, but think about it. If we don't know whether we can consistently count on each other, or if we are frequently manipulating our lives and each other for our own personal gain, then we are not being true to covenant. And that includes dishonoring our relationship with the ultimate covenant, our salvation through Christ's death and resurrection. So isn't it more than time that we fully connect with the true meaning of covenant? Imagine a world where we see each other as a reflection of Christ's love for us. Imagine most people being morally accountable to each other and to God. Imagine that even though we would still have to deal with natural disasters and with the occasional slip up into sin, we would have a society of real respect and dignity for each other. Imagine that through the covenant of salvation, which God formed with us through his Son, Jesus Christ, we would embrace love and goodness. We would keep this at the forefront of our entire existence. And we would do this by remaining faithful to the oath that keeps us accountable. That is, covenant. I appreciate you watching this video and this entire series. Let me know what you think. Please feel free to comment on this video or email me directly, trcatholic@gmail.com. Again, trcatholic@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Please participate in the conversation. Also, share this video and please like and subscribe to the channel. Again, greatly appreciated. Until the next video, stay safe out there and God bless.